You posted something 45 minutes ago. You've checked your phone 11 times since then. Not because you're expecting an important message. Not because you're bored. You checked it because there's a very specific kind of silence that feels unbearable. The silence of something you put out into the world that hasn't been acknowledged yet. And the worst part? You know you're doing it. You can see yourself doing it, and you still can't stop. This is not about social media. This is not about being shallow or insecure or too sensitive. This is about something much older than your phone. Something that was wired into you before you had the words to describe it. And today, we're going to take it apart. Not to judge it, but to understand exactly where it came from, why it got louder, and what it's actually asking for. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. The need for validation isn't a flaw. It's a scar. And scars don't mean you're broken. They mean you survived something. Let's be specific, because vague descriptions don't help anyone. You share an opinion, in a meeting, in a group chat, out loud at dinner, and then immediately, before anyone has even responded, a part of you starts monitoring the room, scanning faces, reading micro-expressions. Did they nod? Did they go quiet in a bad way? Did someone's eyes drift to their phone while you were talking? You make a decision, a new job, a new relationship, a haircut, and even when you feel good about it, there's this low-grade hum underneath that doesn't fully quiet until someone else says it was a good call. Not because you don't trust yourself, but because the approval feels like the final lock clicking into place. You receive a compliment, and for approximately 4 to 7 minutes, you feel genuinely lighter. Then it fades, and the hunger comes back, slightly bigger than before. That's the part that's hardest to admit, that it never fills you up. Not for long. The validation arrives, it soothes, and then the container is empty again. And so you go looking for more proof, more confirmation, more signal from the outside world that you are, in fact, okay. This is not a character flaw. This is a loop, and loops have a beginning. When you were a child, your brain had one primary biological directive: stay close to your caregiver. Not because you were needy, because you were supposed to be. Dependency wasn't weakness, it was survival. A child who stays near a safe adult lives. A child who wanders off alone doesn't. Your nervous system was designed, on purpose, to keep you close to the people who kept you alive. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When a caregiver is consistently present, when they respond to you with warmth and predictability, your nervous system learns something profound. I am safe. I exist. My presence is enough. And that internal sense of okayness gets internalized. It becomes the voice inside your head that reassures you even when no one else is in the room. But when a caregiver is inconsistent, sometimes warm, sometimes cold, sometimes there, sometimes emotionally unavailable, something different happens. Your brain can't predict when safety will arrive, so it goes on high alert. It starts scanning constantly for signals of approval or rejection. It becomes an expert at reading the emotional temperature of every room, every face, every pause in conversation. It learns to perform, to adjust, to monitor. And here's the cruel part. That hypervigilance worked. It helped you navigate an unpredictable environment. It helped you attune, adapt, do whatever it took to keep the connection alive. The problem is that the brain doesn't automatically retire that system when you grow up. You walk into adulthood with a nervous system still running a childhood operating system, still scanning, still performing, still treating a stranger's lukewarm response to your idea as a 5-alarm fire. You are not insecure. You are adapted. Brilliantly, exhaustingly adapted. Now, what about the people who seem completely unbothered? No need for approval. No emotional exposure, no checking the phone. The ones who say things like, I don't care what anyone thinks, and seem to actually mean it. Here's the thing. The absence of visible need doesn't mean the need isn't there. Some people, when their early environment was painful enough, didn't become hypervigilant. They shut down entirely. They learned that needing others leads to disappointment, so they stopped showing need altogether. The person desperately seeking validation and the person aggressively rejecting all connection went to the same school. They just graduated with different survival strategies. Same wound, opposite armor. Now add social media to this equation, and things get genuinely dark. Social media did not invent the human need for belonging and recognition. That need is ancient, woven into our biology as deeply as hunger or thirst. What social media did was take that need and build a Las Vegas casino around it. Quantified approval, a number that updates in real time. A system engineered by some of the most sophisticated behavioral scientists on the planet to exploit variable reward schedules. The same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive is the exact same mechanism that makes you refresh your feed 30 seconds after you just refreshed it. You don't know when the next like is coming. That unpredictability is not a bug. It's the feature. It's what keeps you pulling the lever. And then there's the culture sitting underneath all of it. The idea that your life is a brand. Your personality is content. Your worth is measured in reach and engagement. We have constructed an entire civilization that profits from the wound we're trying to understand right now. And then we wonder why people feel empty. So no, you're not weak for getting caught in it. You're human.
And the machine was built specifically for humans like you. Here's the most important thing I can tell you, and I want you to actually sit with this for a moment. Most of the validation you're seeking from the world is not actually meant for the world. It's meant for someone specific. A parent who made love feel conditional. A caregiver who was emotionally absent. Someone who only showed up when you performed, achieved, or behaved the right way. Someone who should have told you, consistently, without a reason, without you earning it, that you were enough. Just as you were. Just because you existed. They didn't. Or they couldn't. And so part of you is still waiting. You're posting that photo, but you're asking your father if he's proud of you. You're sharing that opinion in the meeting, but you're asking your mother if she finally hears you. You're measuring your worth in the approval of strangers because the person who was supposed to hand it to you for free never did. And the tragedy isn't that you're still looking. The tragedy is that you're looking in all the wrong places. You cannot get that reassurance from Instagram. You cannot get it from your boss or your partner or from any number of compliments that somehow never quite land the way you hoped. And the moment you see that clearly, not just intellectually, but in your chest, in that tight place you've learned to ignore, something shifts. Not dramatically, not all at once, but it shifts. Because you start to understand that the voice you've been waiting to hear from out there has to be built in here first. Not because you're supposed to become someone who needs nothing. That person doesn't exist. And if they claim to, they've simply learned to perform self-sufficiency better than you perform seeking. The goal is not independence from connection. The goal is to stop outsourcing your sense of reality to people who were never equipped to hold it. This takes time. It takes patience with yourself on the days when you still check the phone too many times, when the silence still feels louder than it should, when the approval still feels like oxygen. But you're already doing something important just by being here. By looking at the loop honestly, without flinching. Most people never do that. Most people just keep scrolling. You're going to check your phone again today, maybe right after this ends. And when you do, just notice it. Not with shame, with curiosity. Ask yourself, what am I actually hoping to find right now? And then, just for a second, try to offer yourself a fragment of whatever that is. It won't feel like enough at first. It never does. But that's exactly how it starts.